Good morning, my friends. Welcome back for another Friday devotion. Glad you can join me. And the question I have for us today, am I putting this new year into an old me? Well, what do we mean by that? Well, let's go to Mark chapter 2, verse 22. Mark chapter 2, verse 22. Jesus is using the illustration of wine into new wine into old skins or old bottles. Of course, the idea is that as wine ages, it expands, and the old bottles, which had been previously expanded to their limit, now they have more wine in it than they first had before, but they can no longer expand, and so it's going to burst when the new wine expands in the old bottle. So let's go to Mark chapter 2, verse 22, and Jesus says it this way: "No man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine doth burst the bottles, and the wine is spilled, and the bottles will be marred, but new wine must be put into new bottles." Of course, Jesus is not condoning drunkenness. Okay, please don't drink, don't have a riotous life, and don't get drunk. Okay, that's sin. Okay, but Jesus is using an illustration that really everyone and their brother can relate with, and the idea is that it's just a kind of everyone does this. If you had back in the Bible days new wine, you would always put it into new bottles. Then they can both expand together. You cannot, and no one does this. It's just a no-brainer. You do not put new wine into old bottles that have already expanded to their limit, because then the wine would expand on the inside, crack and burst the bottles, and then it'll be a spill. And so the application for you and I, my friends, this new year, are we putting this new year into our old selves, or how are we doing with our walk with the Lord? It's becoming and it's befitting for us as the years continue to age that we continue to grow and mature as Christians. The whole idea with this application, in fact, the one before was talking about, a patch of cloth. It would be not new on old, because the new would shrink and make the tear worse. It would be old on old, new with as far as with the wine and the bottles. The idea is what Jesus is saying is that the new year that's coming, this coming Monday, this new year, it is fitting for you to have a new you, meaning, of course, be saved, but don't just stay stagnant. Don't have the old you, last year's you, living in this coming new year. It's got to be the 2024 you, which is, Lord willing, more matured, closer with the Lord, more faithful, there's more hope that you have in the scriptures. You've grown in your walk with the Lord. You're more knowledgeable of the truth. You're more at peace with God. You're further along your spiritual journey than where you were before. And so that's befitting. That's becoming of a Christian. And so when the example of the new wine that is expanding is going to burst the bottles, not bubbles, the bottles. Think of it this way: this new coming year, 2024, there's going to be new blessings, but there's going to be new challenges. And my friend, if it's just the old you, if you have been already stretched to the limit, if you can't go anymore, can't take any more duress or challenges that come your way, you're gonna burst. And so don't do that. Don't be marred. Don't burst. Okay, you got to be recharged and grow in the Lord. That's who our strength comes from. And so I just want to challenge us, my friends. Are we putting this new year into an old us, right? Because we want to have a new us for this new year, and that's what's becoming of a Christian. And so don't be an old bottle. we got to be new bottles, right? Of course, a new creature in Christ when we get saved, but then make sure it's also the more matured 2024 version of ourselves that we are going to be coming into this new year. Don't bring our old self into this new year. God is gracious, and I hope you can join us on Sunday, my friends. You're a blessing to me. Christmas, New Year's Eve. Hope to see you there, and may God richly bless you, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.